Get down there! Alright, everybody pays attention. No one gets hurt.
Go! Open the door! They'll get worse than hurt! Hey! Come on! Finally!
We got an exciting one today. What an insane game, and what an iconic and intense opening sequence. Let's go take a look at my physical copy, and then we'll jump right back into some gameplay.
Don't even think about it.
Today's game is Grand Theft Auto V, the second highest selling video game of all time, trailing only Minecraft. This is a 12-year-old game. We're playing it on a 20-year-old console. Can the Xbox 360 really handle this game? I have no idea, but I'm excited to find out. Let's go check it out. Alright, where were we?
All set! Phone it in!
I'm calling it.
Grand Theft Auto has always been a staple in the gaming world. I'd say ever since 2001, when GTA 3 exploded onto home consoles and let us experience a 3D open world in a way that truly revolutionized gaming. And it was a game where 90% of your time was spent goofing off, speeding around listening to the radio, and occasionally obeying traffic signals for no reason, before going on the worst killing spree the world has ever seen. It was somehow the most fun we'd ever had. I remember it absolutely blew my mind when it came out. Granted, I was 11 and I definitely was not supposed to be playing it at all, but GTA 3 made hugely ambitious leaps that transformed the industry and firmly secured this franchise a spot in the Gaming Hall of Fame. Proof of that requires looking no further than the absolute slam dunk after slam dunk sales figures for every single mainline game in this series. Hell, the spin-offs, if you even want to call them that, like Liberty City Stories, sold more than most companies could ever dream to sell in a trilogy of their best-selling franchise. I mean, look at the first 3 Ratchet and Clank games. These were hugely popular games from this era in their own right. And then there's this game, Grand Theft Auto V, which has sold more than all of the other mainline Grand Theft Auto games combined, then doubled. That's fucking crazy. Now, part of that, of course, is the 12 years it's been since its release, but I still don't think it's possible to overstate how huge this game is. It is legendary. All things considered, I think presentation is a high point here. The game is just very cinematic by design. The character models are really solid. They didn't skimp on the textures here. I mean, it's not as good as you're going to find elsewhere on newer hardware, but you shouldn't expect it to be. If you like retro games, tech, and anime, consider subscribing. I've set a goal to try and reach 1,000 subscribers, and any help is appreciated. Streets aren't particularly busy with cars and pedestrians. I mean, they had to cut somewhere, but this still feels like you're driving through a city. It's just not a particularly busy city at the moment. Although I will say draw distance is actually pretty wild for hardware like this. Okay, we gotta remember, we have 512 megabytes of total memory here. That's for the system to use and share with the GPU. We need to be realistic here. This was one of the triplest of AAA games in 2013, which was nearly a decade after the Xbox 360's release. If this game runs at all, we need to tip our hats to Rockstar for whatever magic they pulled to make this happen. The game certainly struggles to hold 30 FPS at times in cutscenes and regular gameplay, and when I lost focus and started speeding around the city like an idiot, the game's FPS began its evolution into a PowerPoint slideshow. Still, no freezing, no major stutters. This is a technical accomplishment, even if it's honestly pretty rough to play. The low frame rate in demanding situations makes handling the cars with any precision a challenge. That or I just suck, but combat actually felt alright. As like many shooting games on console, this game has a level of aim assist. When you pull the left trigger, the reticle snaps to the nearest target as long as you're in the general neighborhood, and you can flip the right thumbstick to rip back and forth between targets quickly if they're close together. Aiming certainly wasn't perfect, but it felt surprisingly decent, and this system of aiming also helps mitigate the impact that frame rate would have on combat. It's literally insane this runs like it does on the Xbox 360. Bravo to Rockstar for the polish here. That said, this is undoubtedly the worst way to play this game. If you have a newer console or a PC, play it there. This version is totally playable for fun and the nostalgia, but the performance just wasn't there for a game with so much driving and shooting. If you do like videos like this, I'll include a link to a playlist with more below. And consider subscribing, because there's more to come. Thanks for watching.
By the time I was his age, I'd already been in prison twice. I robbed banks. I ran whores. I smuggled dope.
And you consider them achievements?